Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. So in today's video, we are going to understand how to create system.io contact with tag for WordPress user. So here my objective is that whenever a user is going to register for my WordPress website, then I want to create a system.io contact with a tag. So now to do this, I need to build an integration between these two applications, for which I will be using Pabbly Connect. So here my trigger application will be WordPress and my action applications will be system.io, because here I am firstly creating the contact and then I am going to add a tag. So if you want to learn more about this integration, follow me through the screen. In this video, we are going to understand how to create system.io contact with tag for WordPress user. So basically the idea here is, if a person will register on my WordPress website, then I want to create a system.io contact with tag for that WordPress registrant or user. So now to do this, I need to build an integration between these two applications, for which I will be using Pabbly Connect. So this here is the homepage of Pabbly Connect, and now as an existing user, I am going to sign in. But if you are a new user, you can click on the sign up for free button and every month you will get 100 tasks for free. So as an existing user, I'm going to sign in. So now this here is the all applications page by Pabbly. So here I will go to Pabbly Connect and click on access now to reach my dashboard. So this here is my dashboard, and now to create a new workflow, I will go to my right hand side corner and click on this create workflow button. So now in this dialog box appearing, I need to give my workflow a name. So here I've named it as create system.io contact with tag for WordPress user. And on my left hand side, you can see that these are the folders which I have created before. So I want to use this folder by the name of system.io. So here I'm going to click on create. So now as I did that, here I've arrived on a very important window which consists of trigger and action. Basically, trigger and action are the two most important principles or concepts of Pabbly Connect, on which this entire automation and integration will depend. Trigger says when this happens, action says do this. So basically, action is an automated response of your trigger application, and in a workflow, you can only have one trigger but multiple action applications. So now moving to my use case, that is to create system.io contact with the tag for WordPress user. So here, as my objective clearly states that whenever a person will register on my WordPress website, then I want to create a system.io contact with the tag for that WordPress registrant or user. So here you can see that the tag is WordPress. So here in system.io, I have created a tag by the name of WordPress. So here I want to create the contact. So now to do this, I will go back to Pabbly Connect, and here in my trigger window, I'm going to use WordPress as my trigger application. Here it is. And now moving to the trigger event, that will be user registers. So this trigger will start working whenever a new user will be registered. So now, as I want to create a system.io contact with tag, so here in this action window, I'm going to use system.io as my action application. Here it is. And now the action event will be to create a new contact. So firstly, I need to create a new contact and then I'm going to add it with a tag. So here in this add action step, I'm going to search for system.io once again as my action application. And now the action event will be to add tag to a contact. So as I've already mentioned that I have created a tag by the name of WordPress. So now here in Pabbly Connect, here you can see that as I've selected my trigger application and the action application along with their respective trigger events and the action events. So here my objective is to create system.io contact with a tag for WordPress user. So these are the steps that are required to go ahead in this automation. So here moving to my trigger window, firstly I need to establish a connection between WordPress and Pabbly Connect. So now in order to do this, here a webhook URL is given and along with that a help desk is given. So read this help desk given below carefully, because this webhook URL will act as a bridge to connect your WordPress account with Pabbly Connect. So now I'm going to take you to my WordPress account, and here I'm going to scroll down and I will go to settings, and in settings I will go to this WP webhooks, and over here I will go to send data, and now here in this WP webhooks I'm going to scroll down and then I'm going to select user created. So here you can see that I have selected user created. WordPress user created, this webhook fires as soon as a user registers. So now I'm going to add a webhook URL. Here I'm going to give a webhook name as new, and now here from Pabbly Connect I'm going to copy the webhook URL, and here I'm going to paste the same, and now I'm going to click on add for create user. So here you can see that a new webhook has been created. So now taking you back to Pabbly Connect. So here you can see that it is waiting for a webhook response. That means now I need to do a test submission or record so that the data can be recorded here in the webhook response. So this here is the registration page. So here I'm going to copy this, and now I'm going to open this page in a new incognito window. So here I will go to this new incognito window. So this here I've opened the registration page in incognito mode, and now I'm going to fill in the details. So here you can see that I have filled in the details. The first name goes as dummy, last name is test, username is test dummy. The company name is Pabbly Tutes. I've mentioned a user email and the user password. Here is the address 1, address 2, mobile number, country, and the zip code. So here I filled in the details in this registration page. So now I'm going to click on submit. So over here it says user successfully registered. That means the details of this user would have been captured in Pabbly Connect. So now I'm going to take you to my WordPress account first. So now here in WordPress under users, you can see that over here a new user has been registered. Here is the username is test dummy. The name is dummy test. Here is the email, role is customer, status is approved, source is registration, and here is the registered date and time. So over here you can see that I have got the details of the new user which is just registered. So this is a test registrant which I've just created, and here are the details of the same. So now this user details would have been captured in Pabbly Connect. So taking you to Pabbly Connect. So here in the response received, you can see the details. Here is the phone number, zip code, company name, along with some other details. So here is the first name, last name. Here is the roles, and here is the email ID along with some other details. So here that means the test registrant which I've just created, the details are successfully captured over here in Pabbly Connect. So the first objective of this automation is set up. That means now whenever a user will register on my WordPress website, then automatically the details of that user will get captured over here in Pabbly Connect. So this trigger will instantly capture the new incoming data, and the workflow execution will start in real time. So as I've got the user detail, now I want to create a contact first. So here to create a contact, I need to establish a connection between system.io and Pabbly Connect. So here I'm going to click on connect. And now in order to add a new connection, I need to mention a API key, and this here is the instruction given for the same. So now I'm going to take you to my system.io account. So this here is my system.io dashboard. So here I will go to my profile, go to settings, and in settings I will go to public API keys. So here to create a new API key, I'm going to click on this create button. Here I'm going to give the name as new, the expiration as 28th February, and I'm going to click on apply and going to click on save. So now here I'm going to copy this, and here in Pabbly Connect I'm going to paste the same. So as I've mentioned the API key, now I'm going to click on save. And here you can see that system.io and Pabbly Connect is successfully connected. So now moving to the details of these fields. So here I need to mention the email address. So basically to mention these details, I'm going to use a method called as mapping. So basically mapping is to insert the data from previous steps. So as I've received the response from WordPress, so here I'm going to search for the email, and here it is, I've mapped it. So now moving to the first name, again from the response received, I'm going to map the first name. Moving to last name, I'm going to map it, and I've mapped it. Moving to phone number. So as I've received these details from the response, so here I'm going to use this method of mapping, and I'm going to map the details. So I will tell you why we are also mapping the details. So here the street address was 123, I've mentioned it. So here if you want to mention the details of postal code, city, state, country, you can do that. I'm going to mention the company name. So here you can see that as I've mapped the details. So basically this method of mapping is important so that every time you receive a new response, so that the data of that response can be taken into consideration in these fields. If I would have written this information manually, in that case this information would have become static, which means that it wouldn't change even if I would have received a new response. So to avoid that problem, we map the information. So now here I'm going to click on Save and Send Test Request. And here you can see that I have received a response, and this here is a positive response. So here is a contact ID also generated. That means a contact would have been created in system.io. So I'm going to take you to system.io once again. So here in system.io under contacts, you can see that a new contact has been created. So now here you can see the details of the contact. Here is the email, here's the last name, first name, street address, phone number, and the other details. So here as a contact has been created successfully. So now once the contact is created successfully, now I want to add a tag. So here I've created a tag by the name of WordPress. So now as the contact has been successfully created, now I want to add a tag to contact. So here to do that, I need to establish a connection once again. So as I've already built a connection once, so I will go the existing connection and I will click on save. And now here you can see that it is connected. So here what I'm going to do is I need to mention the contact ID and the tag ID. So here as I've mentioned that there is a tag by the name of WordPress. So here in Pabbly Connect, the tag will be WordPress as it is. So now moving to contact ID. Instead of selecting a contact ID from this drop down, I'm going to use the method of mapping. So now here I'm going to map the contact ID which I have received from the response from system.io. So as I've already mentioned that the method of mapping is important so that the data won't become static over here. If I would have selected the details of the contact ID from the drop down, then this workflow could have got stuck. So here I'm going to click on Save and Send Test Request as I've mentioned the contact ID and the tag. And here you can see that I have received a response and this here is a positive one. So now here in system.io, you can see that a contact has been added with a tag. So here is the details and here you can see the tags. So that means that whenever a person will register on my WordPress website, then automatically a contact will be created in system.io and then a tag will also be added. So this integration and automation is a successful one. That means now whenever on my WordPress website, there will be a new registration, then automatically by using the details of that registrant, a system.io contact will be created with a tag. Not just these applications, you can integrate a lot more applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. So if you have any doubts regarding Pabbly, reach us at support@pabbly.com, and if you have any queries, you can visit us at forum.pabbly.com. If you have any pricing related query, you can visit this link. So if you like this video, please share it with your friends and colleagues, and do not forget to like, share and subscribe our channel.